and welcome to the Fans Fantasy Premier League show. Our first episode, we've been speaking about doing this for a while now. We finally managed to get around to it. So basically, we're going to be giving you our insight onto Game Week 1.
Expertise insight. We've basically spent the past couple of years playing Fantasy Premier League, having these talks.
Yes.
And we said, why don't we stick a camera in front of it?
Basically, that is the gist of it. One day we were driving and arguing, as we always did.
I say facts, I say expert, genius, magical stuff about FPL, and then you just speak utter nonsense. That's genuinely what happened. And you'll find out when you watch the
Let me translate that into normal person talk. Junaid just cries like a soul. He's oh no, that shouldn't have happened. No,
I don't cry.
The world's against me, the universe is against me.
Well, in fairness, when he's lucky. You're so lucky. You are so lucky.
Nice.
You're so lucky. You're useless as an FPL. As a manager on FPL, you're useless. You're rubbish.
Right.
You're rubbish.
Okay. You gotta understand.
They don't need to understand.
You gotta understand. He's calling me rubbish. I am the reigning defending champion.
Fluke.
Not fluke.
Leicester
38 game weeks.
Leicester won the Premier League.
38 game weeks. Not a fluke.
Leicester won the Premier League. Anyone can win once.
No. It's extreme.
The fact that you won is an embarrassment to football, to Fantasy Premier League. Okay, you winning puts the fantasy in Fantasy Premier League. Genuinely, I'm embarrassed you're even on this show. Right. This should be a one-man show with me giving genius opinions, but you're that. You fluked it. You fluked it. We've discussed it in another video. You rob your big brother's players. You rob my players. You steal everyone's players, and you copy. You're like Zuckerberg, and I'm Winklevoss. That's what you are. You take someone's idea, and then you turn it into gold. That's what you do. That's what you do.
You don't cry.
I can't see anything.
You're here to bounce off of me. I provide the insight. I'm the reigning defending champion. You're simply here.
Go on, give me some insight. Go on.
We're going to get to the insight.
Okay.
We are going to get to the insight.
We
are going to get to the insight. I think we should let the viewers know about our previous two seasons. I don't know about Junaid, but I've pretty much played Fantasy Premier League every year, and I was one of those players, made my team for the start of the season, and never checked on it again.
Yeah.
And that was it. It was something to kill 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Before the start of the season, you join whoever's league.
You maybe stick with it in August.
Yeah.
And by September, you lose it.
So I never really had any interest. It was a couple years ago, and basically I think it was our rivalry and our hatred of each other every single week, which basically drove us to have a YouTube channel.
Yes.
And a Facebook page.
Yes.
On the whole matter, that's how serious we take it.
Because we've always been in leagues, and I think the key thing is when you're in a league, you're battling each other for points. So whoever has the most points at the end of the season wins. And the difference is with what we did last year was we competed for a championship belt. We bought a wrestling belt. But most importantly, we played it week to week. So instead of, let's say in game week 1, Cam got 50 points and I got 53 points, it wasn't 53-50, it was 1-0. Yep. And we did it like that, so every week mattered even more. It was head to head. Head to head.
That first year, it was merely the score, the final score at the end of the season.
It was just a league.
You could afford to have bad weeks.
Yeah, you can't afford bad weeks.
Last year we couldn't afford bad weeks. And to be honest, I think our head-to-head drove us to being first and third in our league because it meant that we had to have good weeks every single week, or at least try to have good weeks every single week, which is why I think we finished up so far.
Well, you talk about good weeks and bad weeks. I talk about lucky and unlucky weeks. For you, no, honestly, genuinely. For you, no, genuinely, you talk about good weeks and bad weeks. It wasn't. That might be how what they say. I have a history degree, and they always say history is written by the winner. And he won. Listen, he won. Okay. But I'm going to rewrite history, okay? History is going to be rewritten and I am going to absolutely destroy. I'm not just going to win. I'm going to make you cry on camera by the end of the year.
Really?
I'm going to make you look at
I'm
me.
going to make you cry by game week 1.
Well,
next week you're going to be floods of tears.
I have to win it. I have to win
He
it.
has to win it. He feels he
Because
has
what
to
happened
win.
last year in game week 1 was I picked a magical team. It was my team, Dynamo Lightning Squad. They are a beautiful. Yours is Gotham City FC. Like a 5-year-old came up with it.
I have to stick with it. It's a winning formula.
Well,
It's a winning
I
formula.
won't go that far. My team in game week 1 last year, it was magical. It was absolutely magical. It was so good. My players on the bench were scoring. Kante was scoring. But like I said, I picked these players out of skill and talent because I'm a genius manager. I'm a genius manager. Cameron, on the other hand, picked some rubbish for his bench. He didn't even realise Oriel Romeu, who was a budget buy because he couldn't afford anyone else, he just stuck him on the bench. He didn't even realise at that time Romeu would get subbed on for him because one of his other players that he thought was going to play didn't end up playing. Romeu comes off the bench, wins it for him. Was it by 3 points or a point or something?
It was by 1 point.
1 point.
It was by Romeu got 3 points because Southampton got a clean sheet against Burnley the first game.
So it's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke.
I ended up winning by a point.
However,
he was subbed on for James Ward-Prowse.
I don't care.
Who eventually went on to have a great season. He was in my team on game week number 1, so I did spot that a little earlier.
I couldn't care less.
Can I bring up the list?
Why?
Surely, it's up now. It's there now. It's
well, don't
in the atmosphere.
Don't lie about it.
I'm not going to lie about it. It's bad enough on its own. I don't need to try.
Right. Are you saying?
I'll tell it. So basically,
this was a tough time for me in life.
Junaid created a list for his shortcomings. So every single week, he would write on this list how the universe has irritated him, how the universe has annoyed him, and how it's cheated against him. And he kept adding to this list every single week. Can I bring up the Twitter page? 1 week, Junaid made a Twitter account for Dynamo Lightning Squad and tweeted as if it was an actual team. He lost that game week. The Twitter page was pretty much forgotten about.
Touched it again. I've got the list.
I've
got the list.
He told me you deleted this list. Just read some excerpts out.
So you can check this, by the way. So this was game week 1 of last season, and it's called Bad Luck.
Yeah,
see that? Bad Luck. So game week 1, Sanchez earns and I had Sanchez in my team. Sanchez earns a penalty, but doesn't get the assist because it comes off a Leicester player. That's a joke. Pogba takes the ball off Sanchez after a debate to take the penalty. So Sanchez doesn't get the assist, which he should have got, and then Pogba takes the ball off him when Sanchez could have scored the penalty.
These things happen all the time.
Vardy scores a pointless goal in the 93rd minute to take De Gea, my keeper, and my captain's clean sheet. So United, I think we were 2-0 up with 92 minutes on the clock. De Gea was going to get me a clean sheet. He was going to get bonus points. He was my captain, so he'd have doubled it. Then Vardy scores a pointless goal to take that away.
Anyway,
that's bad luck.
Right, okay, we're going to...
Kante scores and gets 8 points, but he's on the bench. I've already mentioned this. Unable to be subbed on, whilst 5 of my outfield players attain 2 or 1 points, whereas Oriel Romeu just pops on with 3 points to it.
As much as I want to hear this list, as much as I want to read the list, we have more pressing things to get to. So I am going to stay on our stats from the last couple of years. So in our first years, we joined a week late.
Yes.
We both joined a week late, so we both missed game week 1. We joined, I think it was the day after. I don't even think the game week had finished there. We're just a little bit unlucky there. So Junaid's score was 1,660.
I mean, I did give up towards the end.
Mine was 1,824, so pretty bad scores. But the only reason I've brought them up is because you can see how far we've come in a year. By seeing our scores the year after. So the year after, last year, Junaid scored 2,151, which is a massive improvement.
It's about 600. About 600
just under. And I scored to win our league 2,226. So reasonably close. You had a very, very outside bet on the end of the season to win. But it was pretty much at that point a two-horse race between me and Tom Taylor.
Yeah, but I was in it.
You were in it, like
It wasn't a two-horse race.
Well, it sort of ended up being a two-horse
Don't
race.
wink.
I didn't wink.
With about 3 weeks to go, I was in the league.
Anyway, so that's a little bit of our insight into our past. Personally, now I think it's time that we get on to the teams. Right then, so without further ado, I think it's time that we move on to our teams. So, it's important to put that out there. Junaid is banned from speaking whilst I say my team. If he wasn't, we'd be here all day. We really would. We're going to have discussions at the end, but I'm going to rattle through my team.
Because it's going to be an awful team.
Right,
that's all I'm saying.
We're going to get there. We're going to get to it.
I'll turn the microphone that way, shall I? I'll turn it that way.
Yeah, turn it that way. So, in goal, 2 keepers. This changed yesterday. With the signing
Not surprised.
of Harry Maguire. Changed my team. Initially, I had Edison in my goal. I had Edison and I had Norwich McGovern. McGovern was to save money. I don't even think McGovern was going to play. But I had Edison as my initial first choice keeper. Things changed yesterday with the signing of Harry Maguire to Manchester United. I have now gone for Rui Patricio. Patricio at 5 million is going to be my first choice keeper. Bit of a tough game. Tough game initially against Leicester. I'm not expecting the clean sheet points, but I am hoping for a few save points. Patricio at 5 and McGovern at 4 rounds up my goalkeepers. At the back, it's very important that you do keep silent here. I've got to emphasise that. At the back, starting off with my defenders, I have Trent Alexander-Arnold at 7 million. I have Virgil van Dijk at 6.5. I have Aymeric Laporte at 6.5 as well, worked wonders for me last season. And this was the other change in my team. I've actually brought in Luke Shaw now. I got rid of Edison for Patricio to clear up the extra mil that I needed to bring in Luke Shaw in. Because now I feel that with Maguire as the centre-back for United, with Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw on the left, their defence is going to be much stronger. So I think that they're going to have a much bigger chance of getting clean sheets. And Shaw is probably the most likely of those players to actually contribute with assists. Also at the back, I've gone for Martin Kelly. Just a bit of an outside option for Crystal Palace. 4 million. He did play the occasional game. Not much of it. I'm not expecting him to play much, but for the cheapest option, 4 million is the cheapest option for defenders. I think Martin Kelly is your best option to go for. He's going to play the odd game, but don't rely on him, people. Moving on to midfield, we have Tielemans at 6.5. Worked wonders for me last season. I have Sadio Mane at 11.5, my big midfielder, rounding off my 3 Liverpool players. I've also gone for Wilfried Zaha at 7, and Milivojevic at 7. I've put them both in, both for Crystal Palace. Hopefully I'm hoping for them to link up a little bit. And just to round it off, again, nice cheap option, cheapest midfield option at 4.5, Dale Stephens for Brighton. He plays the odd game, so if you just need the point, just need someone to go in, Dale Stephens is probably your best option in my opinion for a 4.5 midfielder. There is a better option at 4.5, but I couldn't have him in my team for reasons that you'll see. So up front, I've gone for Mr. Reliable Harry Kane at 11 million, and then I've gone for the duo of Wolves, Jimenez and Jota, 7.5, 6.5 respectively. That rounds up my team. I believe you've been biting your tongue, Junaid. Let's hear your thoughts.
About your team?
Yes.
It's an insult to call it a team.
Right.
There
we go.
Where do we begin?
Where
do we begin? Right. Let's first of all start with the goalkeeping situation.
Yeah.
McGovern. So what you've clearly done is you've done what you did last year, which was you go for a good keeper and basically a budget keeper that will not get used.
Yes.
And won't even, let's say Patricio gets injured and before the game and doesn't play, McGovern won't even play.
Most likely. I don't know what Norwich's goalkeeper. Pretty much, yeah.
Right. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
That's an alright tactic.
Yeah.
As for Patricio in goal, it is ridiculous.
Why?
He does get saves. I watched them in the Asian Premier League Trophy pre-season tournament. He does get saves. He is a decent keeper, but they don't keep clean sheets.
They do every now and again. They do keep quite a bit of clean sheets, and I saw that because of Doherty last season. I had Doherty in my defence. I had him in my initial team.
I think it's a really... For someone who had Alisson all season last year, which he pretty much did, who pretty much won you game weeks, I'd say. He was the... They say in real football, David De Gea wins Man United about 20 points a season.
Yeah.
I'd say Alisson probably won you about 5 or 6 game weeks. I'm shocked you dropped him. Massively shocked. And I think for Patricio... There's not much goalkeeping choice this year for me, but Patricio's a poor one. Defence, I called it. I called it in the last video. I think it was our Liverpool video we've done, which is on Facebook and YouTube right now. I said he steals players, he copies people, and it's exactly what he did. A couple of years ago I had Robertson in my team, he stole him. Last year, 2 of my mainstay players throughout the whole season that won me game weeks, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Virgil van Dijk. And I said, you can quote me on it in the last video, I said, I guarantee on day 1 you will have Trent Alexander-Arnold. I don't know if I said Virgil van Dijk, I think I might have.
I think you did.
I think I did.
Yeah.
Enric Laporte, I had him in my team a lot last year, Cameron discovered him, so Cameron discovered him because of me. I'm not shocked to hear you've pulled him. Do you know currently he's injured?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to get that on film.
It's a 75% chance.
Yeah,
so
and then you've got... This is another thing that's ridiculous about your team. You bring up the Harry Maguire thing as a good excuse to get rid of Edison. Yet then you don't put Harry Maguire in your team.
Yes.
You use him as an example for Luke Shaw performing back. Who, by the way, Luke Shaw was my left back in the FPL pretty much for half of last year, and his assists and the odd clean sheet and bonus points were what frustrated him. So basically, Trent, Virgil, Laporte and Luke Shaw, pretty much 4 of my main 5 defenders, Bennett from Wolves, I'd say the other, and maybe Duffy, he's stolen. So I predicted that. So everything I've said about you, you're copying.
A good manager will take influence from what he sees.
It's disgusting. Can you see?
Theft.
Can you see what I mean?
Not theft.
Can you see what I mean? Can you see what I mean?
It worked well for you last year, and I plan on taking that weakness and making it my
How's
strength.
it a weakness?
Oh, the weakness for me, sorry, and making it a strength.
So you've stolen it from me. You've
Not
copied
stolen.
me. You've copied me. You've copied me.
Stolen.
You've copied me. You've copied me. Let's go. Let's get to the midfield. I'm going to ignore Kelly because I know you said he plays all right.
He plays the odd game.
I believe it was a budget buy.
Oh, it was absolutely. But 4 million is the cheapest price for a defender, and from what I could see out of those players, I think he's the one who's probably most likely to play from the big teams. Anyway, we'll get to the midfield in just a moment.
So far, looking at your team, we've been through goalkeepers, we've been through defence, I've heard the full team, but before we analyse specifically the rest, you've let yourself down big time.
Why is that?
Because they aren't good picks. I guarantee, I called it about Trent and Virgil, I guarantee what he'll do. He did it last year, because he won the first 2 game weeks, then I won the next 3. You will use your wild card within the first 3 or 4 game weeks. Because
I'm not opposed to it.
you know, this is such a poor team. Let me. The midfield gets slightly better. When you said Tielemans, I thought, brilliant. I thought that's a great... You discovered him, that was an original find for you. That wasn't a theft.
Back to my days of watching Monaco week in, week out.
On FIFA. We established that in the Leicester video that's not yet online. Tielemans, 6.5, great. Fantastic. That is... I like your defence. I mean, sure. But anyway, then Mane, he's not going to play against Norwich.
I think he will.
I don't think he will, and I don't think he's going to have a good season. So do you know, like 2 years ago, Salah was amazing, and then last year Salah was still great, but hit and miss. That's going to be Mane this year. Then, to have Zaha, who I think is going to be... I think Crystal Palace are going to be awful. And
I think they will be.
I do.
I think Crystal Palace are going to be okay.
I think they're going to be awful. I don't think Zaha or Milovic are very good signings. By the way, Zaha and Milovic were 2 players that I've had for pretty much a lot of last year as well, that you stole.
Hang on a second. I had Milovic in from Gameweek 1, so don't you claim that you stole Zaha. Did you even have Zaha in the team last year?
Yes, several times.
I don't think you did.
Several times.
I don't think he wasn't a mainstay.
Did I say it? Did I
He's
say
not
that?
someone that you can claim I stole.
Did I say
from
that?
you, which you did say. You did say I stole
Zaha
from you.
and Milovic are poor. And the emphasis this year, because I do agree with what you said about it's slim pickings up front.
So you think the emphasis is on midfield?
The emphasis has to be on midfield. You get more points for scoring, you get clean sheet bonus point, Honestly, that is a poor... I can't see Crystal Palace, especially without Wan-Bissaka keeping many clean sheets. I can't see Milovic and Zaha scoring that many. I can't see Mane playing as regularly, or even doing as well, and then Stevens, who I'm hoping to budget by...
cheapest option.
4.5. I mean, and Tielemans is a bit of a gamble, because he was playing for his future last year, he's now got his future. That's an awful midfield. That's really poor. Then we get to the strike force, and I don't know what you're thinking.
Why?
Listen, at least,
I
at least last year, you were stupid, but there was some luck to your stupidity.
You don't win a championship by being stupid.
This
It's all
is-
tactical. It was all tactical.
This
is all tactical.
embarrassing. Kane at 11 million, you're better than that.
But you think out of all those options,
You're better
Kane
than
shouldn't
that.
be in the team?
Aubameyang's better. If
I
you look at
think
the
Aubameyang
fixtures
is
as well,
better.
Aubameyang's better. I'd even say Aguero at 12. I rewatched our Man City video, which is online right now, and you spoke very, very, very highly about Aguero, and I was convinced you would pick Aguero, and I thought that would be a very good decision for you. So I think that's poor. And to go with Jimenez and Jota, both of them up front,
Yeah.
when they're in the Europa League.
We had different opinions on that. You don't think they're going to get much game time
Because
You
they're in the
think they're
Europa
gonna
League,
rotate
and
them.
Nuno
I
is
don't think they will.
Nuno is going to want to do the
Especially, I think you've got to remember, Europa doesn't start yet. It starts in a few weeks. Right, and saying
yeah, but
that.
they're still qualifying right now, so they're still playing. They're getting tired.
They play in the qualifying stages. They're playing at teams like Shamrock Rovers, at teams like of that calibre. They're not going to need Jimenez and Jota. They're going to want a strong start to the Premier League campaign. They want the big boys up front, assists and goals. They will do that for each other.
I think it's poor. I think you've blown it.
Well, I mean, only time
And Nuno loves. It's like European managers absolutely love the Europa League, and I can't remember off the top of my head. They have just bought a striker as well. So I think this is poor. I think this is really, really poor, and I am not worried at all. When I look at this, Patricio plays Leicester. He's not keeping a clean sheet. You even admitted that. Arnold and Van Dijk, yeah, they might keep clean sheets. It's alright. Laporte, I don't think going to play. I just don't know. So you're going to have to organise your subs very carefully there.
I mean, always my first sub.
Right.
They got a game against Chelsea. But as we emphasised,
And I think that'll be 0-0.
Yeah, as we emphasised earlier, Chelsea aren't.
Yep. You'll be lucky, because I do think Tielemans will score or assist, so what you lose for Patricia, you'll get back from Tielemans. Don't think Mane will play. Don't think Zaha and Milivovic, they're playing Everton.
Yeah.
They're not going to do well.
It's a tough game.
They're not going to score. They're not. Kane v Villa, you could get a goal, but he's notoriously poor in August.
And you said we said these people kept saying this,
and then you picked him last year,
and it worked. He scored.
Listen,
so you don't hate statistics like that. Oh, he's not good in August. The team that finished second, they're more than likely probable to come third.
Can I tell you the biggest mistake you've made?
Go on.
You should have had Connor Cody in your defence, because I think Wolves' defence are going to smash goals in this year. And
if I was going to go for a Wolves defender, absolutely would not be Cody.
You'd go with
Doherty, and then an outsider would have been Bowling as well.
Ridiculous.
He's a big man. He's a big man centre back, and he's got a few heady goals.
I think Connor. you know what? I even think you're right. I even think Doherty, Bowley, Bennett, Vinagre. These players, they're all going to get assists and goals. I think Wolves are going to play free flowing, and I think Jimenez and Hotter are not going to get as much. And I think even on the Wolves video, we agreed that you should only pick one of them, and you've gone for both.
You said that.
And I think you agreed.
You said that. I don't think I might have agreed.
Either way, whether you
throw you off the scent,
whether you agree or not, it's a poor decision to put both in. Because I nearly put Callum Wilson and Josh King in mine, and I thought, no, it's too silly. This is pathetic. You will get. I'm going to predict. You're going to get for opening game week 45 points, which would be about an 8-point drop from what you got in game week 1 last year. I don't think you'll hit you aim for, you try and get the average each week, don't you? I try and get about 50 points each week.
I try.
This is poor. This is really poor.
I want to say.
For you to be on a show about FPL, claiming to be an expert and to put this team out, we need to start looking for another host.
Do it.
Because it's pathetic.
Right then.
This team is pathetic.
You've had your little chance to discuss my team.
Abysmal.
I think it's time that we put the shoe on the other foot now.
So, we've looked at an awful team.
Great team.
We've looked at an awful team. Gotham City FC.
Yeah.
You are the Joker. You are the Joker with a team like that. With a team like that, you are the Joker. And I will be the bane. I will be the bane of your life now.
Do you mean Heath Ledger Joker in the fact that it was such an incredible thing?
I'm talking Jared Leto Joker.
No,
I'm talking Jared Leto Joker.
You call me Jared Leto's Joker.
We now move on to the Dynamo Lightning squad, or Dynamo Lightning FC, because I don't have enough characters to put the team name in. So, I want to know who you think I've gone with as keeper. Let's play it like this. Who have I? Because I swore last year, because I had Etheridge and Gaeta at the end of it, and I said, wow, this really works, rotating keepers week by week. I was going to do that. That was part of my philosophy. Yeah. I've surrendered it. So I've got a budget goalkeeper. I've got Stecklenburg.
You got Stecklenburg
as my budget keeper for the bench.
Right,
for the bench.
You're right.
He's not coming on.
That's a break.
He's my McGovern.
Yeah.
He's my McGovern. Yeah.
Right, okay.
Who's my main keeper? Who do you think my main keeper is? The games have begun.
Pickford.
What a joke. Why would I ever pick Pickford?
I'm expecting Pickford to have a decent season.
I picked Edison.
Yeah. Fair enough. He was my initial keeper.
He is. I'd say I watched Alisson in the Community Shield, and listen, the goal that City scored was everybody's fault in Liverpool's team, but I just think Alisson isn't going to have. I don't think Liverpool are going to have the season they did. So I picked Edison because I think when you look at everyone, he's worth the 6 million and he's going to get the most clean sheets. My defence, I have gone with Trent Alexander-Arnold because he's my boy. I've gone with Andy Robertson.
I think that. I won't say anything.
I don't mind if you want to chirp in.
Do the same system.
I've gone with Andy Robertson because I believe Liverpool will keep clean sheets, but Andy Robertson was the bane of my life last year because I would be getting clean sheet points for Trent, and I'll be getting clean sheet points for Virgil, and then Robbo would pop up with an assist, and he'd get clean sheets as well. I think Robertson is going to outperform Trent this year. So I've kept Trent because he takes the corners and he takes free kicks and he's really good, but I think Robertson's better. This year, I think he'll be better. So I'm going for a back four, by the way, so got Trent on the right, I've got Robbo on the left. My centre backs, Kyle Walker. I did have Emerick Laporte in my team, but he is injured and I don't think he'll play, personally. Kyle Walker is not just aesthetically, but also spiritually taking over the mantle of Vincent Kompany, and I think I've seen Kyle Walker take 30-yard shots in games and they've skied. This year, it's his coming of age year. Kyle Walker will step up. I can see myself keeping Kyle Walker in all season. And then I've gone with Ruben Vinagre, because I think Ruben Vinagre is going to be the hidden gem of this year for Wolves defender, and I think he's just signed a 4-year deal, and I think he's going to bang in assists, and I think it won't matter if Wolves don't keep many clean sheets because he'll get a lot of assists. So that's my defence. My defender on the bench is a budget defender, but actually for 4 million, Bobby Reed, who it is by the way for West Ham, he's not awful, but don't get me wrong, I'm not going to...
He's your Martin Kelly.
He's my Martin Kelly. If Martin and Bobby, if you're watching, we apologise. We didn't put the price on you, but yeah. So that's my defence. And my midfield, I've gone for 4-4-2. I'm emphasising midfield. I was gonna go 4-5-1.
You do remind me of Mike Bassett.
Great manager. A role model of mine. Him and Sam Allardyce, a role model of mine. I've gone 4-4-2, as Mike Bassett did in the World Cup, and I'm emphasising a lot on my midfield. This is where I'm going to get my points. I've gone for Tielemans. Because
is this what it feels like?
This is what it feels like. That's what it feels like. Is that what it feels like?
Blow to my heart.
I don't think you ever thought I'd get Tielemans.
No.
I don't think you ever thought. That's how it feels. That's what it feels like. Do you remember when you grew up morning? That's how it feels. When you think you've got a diamond, a differential diamond, hashtag that, differential diamond. When you think you've got a differential diamond and your best mate steals him. I took Tielemans 50% because he's a boy wonder. I think he's going to do very, very well. Leicester, one of my tips to break into the top 6. 50% to upset you. To upset you on camera. Pereira for Watford, who you picked last year. And whenever I watched Watford, he's just looked dangerous. He petered off towards the end of the year, don't get me wrong, but I think he's very, very good, and Watford have some very, very kind fixtures at the beginning of the day. They have some very kind fixtures. So I've gone with Pereira, so I've gone with Tielemans and Pereira. This is where it gets go. Mohamed Salah.
The big boy.
Mohamed Salah. Do I even need to go into it? I watched, any doubt I had about Mohamed Salah, I watched the Community Shield and he didn't score. He didn't get close to scoring, but what he does is he creates chances from nothing, and the Liverpool team just throw the ball to him, and he's on the edge of, if the pitch is in 3 parts, start, middle and end of build-up, he's always at the edge of in the middle. He's always at the edge of the second third, and he'll get the ball there, and he'll find a way to get into the third, and make a shot. Whether he hits the post, whether he gets a corner, whether he skies it, he's going to make chances, he's going to score goals. I think he'll take penalties. I think Milner, which you did say Milner, takes the penalties, but Salah does win penalties, sometimes furiously, I'm not going to lie, but I do think he'll take a lot more penalties this year. So I think Salah is going to be on top form. And I've got Raheem Sterling, because again, I just think he's going to play every game. I think he's going to play every game, and I think he's going to just score and score and score. And they say that you should pick a team at the start of the year and you should spend the money on players you think at the end of the year will be up there. And for me, Salah and Sterling are going to be both on 22 goals each. easily. And my midfielder, you can quote me on this, I did say I wouldn't touch him with a barge pole. That wasn't misdirection. He's a bit of a budget buy, but I'm hoping it does one of those things where I might be wrong, but I've gone with Douglas Luiz for Aston Villa. I've gone with Douglas.
I've never seen anyone be as passionate about anything as your hatred for Douglas Luiz.
Well, he's on the bench, he's the second sub at the moment, so I'm not like going, stick him on, but 4.5, I did have John Joe Shelby at 5, but because I had to tweak it, I had to go somewhere at 4.5, and I thought, do you know what? I've been so unlucky that I'm gonna bet on my unluckiness, and I'm gonna pick a player I think is awful to test how unlucky I am. So that's my midfield. My strikers. I've not decided if it's a sub yet, but I think at the moment I can change this. We can change formations and stuff. Because we're not revealing captains and vice captains either.
No.
Mason Greenwood for Manchester United. I think he's going to play against Chelsea. I think he could score, and I think if I don't play him, and he's currently my first sub, and I'm worried if I don't play him, he's going to come on off the bench and score. I think he's going to do well. I do think it'll be 0-0, but I'm worried. If anything's going to happen, it'll be 1-0 United Greenwood. Greenwood is... Solskjaer loves him. He loves him. He's a good player. I watched some pre-season friendlies. 4.5 million. He's a good player. And he isn't... For 4.5 million as a budget player on the bench, I'm very excited about him. And I think he'll be in my team all year because he's so cheap, and I think he'll play. And I think I'll make money back, and I think his price will rise and rise and rise. Just putting out there. Diego Jota.
There it is again.
I don't think the viewers can see. He's holding the laptop.
Again.
He's holding his Diego Jota.
Yeah.
Because I think of the two of the strikers, he's 6.5, and the decision was I was never going to go with Jimenez at 7.5, and I was never going to go with Wilson at 8. Too expensive. So it was, for me, it was always that 6.5 million second striker. It was always going to be either Jota, Josh King, or Gerard Deulofeu. Gerard Deulofeu was first choice, but he's injured. And for some reason, the Watford manager sometimes benches Deulofeu. He did it in the FA Cup semi-final against Wolves, and Deulofeu came on and proved his point. And as for Josh King, I like Josh King a lot, but I think I'm a bit worried Bournemouth are going to have a tough time. And I think they play Sheffield first game. I think Sheffield might do a bit better than we think. We've slated them, but I think they might, especially new bands into the league. So, with one player left, my striker, this is the guy that is going to end your game week 1. Jamie Vardy is going to have a party because you have Patricio in goal, Wolves play Leicester, you have Tielemans in your team, I have Tielemans in my team, Tielemans and Vardy are going to be having a party, and I'm going to win the game week. So my team of Edison, Alexander-Arnold, Walker, Ruben Vinagre, Robertson, Tielemans, Salah, Sterling, Pereira, Vardy and Diego Jota. That is my starting 11 as we speak. You know my bench players, it might change. I might bring some of them on, but that is my team.
So, you have heard... Wow! Wow.
You've heard?
Okay.
Go on, let's...
Wow, okay.
The floor's yours.
The whole thing was you slagged my team off, and then your rebuttal was this.
This is a great
no,
team.
It isn't.
This is a great team.
So you've started off Edison.
I can see.
Good pick. Good pick. I think Edison is a good pick. That's why he was initially my keeper. So, hats off to you. It's a good keeper. I think he's a good keeper.
That defence though, look at that now. That's a nice defence.
I don't think it is a nice defence.
Nice
I think having Arnold and Robertson is a very bad idea.
It's genius.
I don't think it is, because neither of them are going to score. They're going to assist. They're assist masters. Then they don't ever contribute to actually getting the goals themselves.
I disagree with that massively.
So the thing is, whoever is scoring, only one of them's getting the assist. And I'm not sure whether Liverpool are going to be these powerhouse of finishing like they were last year. I think it's a gamble. I really do. I don't think it's a gamble that's going to pay off either.
The great gamble.
Like I said, the only thing that might work for you against me personally is if it's Robertson getting the assist, not Trent. But towards the end of the season, it was Trent getting more assists, and I don't think that was down to just him being a very good player and him maybe being up for it a little bit more. I think it was by choice. I think Klopp was choosing to play down that right hand side more than he was to the left.
I agree.
So I think that's the reason why Trent was getting more of the assists. That's why I've gone for Trent. And like I said, for me, that option of Van Dijk, just having him in there, especially for corners, for headers, he's a big man. He's not afraid to take a shot, and he's not bad at them as well. Especially if they need a goal coming towards the end, he's a leader. He'll charge at the field and try to get a goal.
I agree, but here's the one thing I disagree with. When I had Virgil van Dijk last season, his first ever game was in an FA Cup match against Everton, and he scored a header, and I thought, great. Trent taking corners, Van Dijk heading them in. He doesn't seem to get his head on them all. It doesn't work. It didn't work out the way I wanted. It just didn't.
It was such a strong...
He'd just get me clean sheets.
But personally, I've expressed why I don't think Arnold and Robertson works. I don't think that pairing is going to maximise you as many points as possible.
Do you think this is a bit like when last year I had Firmino, Salah and Mane in my team?
Yeah, it's a risk, because I mean, I just don't... I think you're likely to get points off one of them, but who is it going to be? And is it going to be worth it?
But the same goes for you. I don't think Trent and Van Dijk are both going to get points.
Potentially not.
But I think Robertson,
but like I said,
is more attacking than Van Dijk.
Van Dijk could score.
And
that could be Robertson. No, they can't. They don't score. They don't score neither.
Okay, let's go. Van Dijk could score. I'd say Van Dijk scores 1 every 5. I'd say Robertson gets 2 assists every 5. So it levels itself out.
Does it level itself out?
I would definitely say so.
Does it level itself out?
I would definitely say so.
I disagree. Anyway,
and even if it goes wrong, because Robertson's 7 million, I have more money to transfer him out.
We spent a lot of time chatting about them, so it's time to move on to the rest of the team. Walker and Vinagre, same problem with both of them. I think they're both going to be rotated out, especially when maybe for the first game, maybe a lot for Walker instead of Laporte. I know Walker can play on the right as well. But I just can't see them both being mainstays in the team, especially Vinagre. You've got Johnny on that side.
Johnny kind of plays midfield though, but he gets put on FPL as defender.
Johnny plays as a wing back most of the time. Johnny plays as a left wing back and Doherty on the right. For me, Johnny doesn't lose his place to Vinagre.
I think he does. Because I think Johnny plays Europe.
You know what? You even brought, for me, you even hammered the nail into your own coffin with this. Vinagre's been given a 4-year deal.
Yeah.
4 years.
Yeah.
Not commitment. 2 years. Not we expect you to do things now. We see things for you in the future.
Commitment
we see you being in the team.
Commitment to a great player. Commitment to a great player.
It's a long-term deal because he's still young. He's still like 19, 20. So especially Vinagre, I don't see him getting in the team. Walker, I think I had Walker in my team a little bit last year, and he's just too unreliable. We'll move on to the midfield. I think it's a strong one. I do think it is a strong one.
That's where my point is going to come from.
Yeah. Like you said though, Pereira sort of petered off towards the end of the season.
He's worth a punt.
He's worth a punt, yeah.
At 6 million,
he's worth a punt.
There's no one really better, I'd say.
But I'm not sure he's going to be consistently getting points every single week. Up front, Voidy, good pick.
Very good pick.
I think 9 million.
Yeah.
I said it before, I think it might be a little bit too steep.
I think he'll score a lot.
Jota, again, is a good option if you've got the bench. The bench, it's poor.
But your bench is awful.
I wouldn't say my bench is awful. I think there's points on my bench. I don't think there's, with the exception of Douglas Luiz, I don't see any points on
Greenwood?
the bench. No.
You don't think Greenwood's going to play?
I don't think Greenwood's going to play.
Right,
We've got Rashford and Lukaku.
Lukaku will be gone.
Is Lukaku gone?
He's going to be gone.
Is he gone yet though?
He's going to be gone.
What if?
And he's going to be out.
What if Lukaku gets a chance? What if Lukaku gets brought on and he starts banging them in?
Well, what if Mason Greenwood plays?
Yeah, but I think even an unhappy Lukaku is likely to get played over Greenwood.
Disagree.
And I think if Lukaku goes out, someone comes in.
Do you not think Man United are built on giving young players a chance? Solskjaer being part of Man United tradition.
I think
He's open.
they are to a degree. I don't think that Solskjaer is going to allow Rashford to be the sole primary striker at Man United.
I do.
With the backup of Mason Greenwood. I can't see that happening.
He plays Martial a bit on the left, but he does have...
Well, don't worry. He opts for that sort of the Man City, Liverpool three. Two wingers, one up front.
Like I said, I think Greenwood will come off the bench maybe.
I don't even think he'll get that.
Solskjaer openly said that Greenwood is in contention to start against Chelsea.
I think he's just saying these kinds of things to sort of hype him up, let him know that the hype's real. You might get the odd point for him, but it's far too much of a risk. I know it's a budget buy.
I'd like putting him on the starting 11.
I don't think. I mean, I suppose I think it could be a wise move if he doesn't play.
He gets subbed off.
But what if he does? What if he brings him on to bring, give his legs a bit of a go right at the end of the game? I don't see it.
It's a great team.
It's an okay team.
It's an okay team. How many points? Game week 1. I reckon you get about 45. And I reckon this will get about 65.
No, definitely not that high. Go about 50.
This will get about
50.
So you think I'll get more points than you?
No, because I think I'm going to hit mid 55, something like that. Yeah.
You're being 10 points too generous to yourself.
I'm not being generous.
I want to know who the fans think has a better team.
That's the main thing.
Gotham City FC and their absolute abysmal 15-man squad, or my beautiful, clinical, magical Dynamo Lightning squad. Okay? So let us know who you think has the better team. Me or this sorry excuse for a manager. So we're just going to look at game week 1 fixtures. We've got on Friday night the big opener at Anfield. We've got Liverpool versus Norwich. Score predictions?
3-0 Liverpool.
I don't think it'll be that much. I think it might be even 2-1. I think Norwich might get a goal.
Timu Pukki.
I think it'll be Timu Pukki. I think they'll get a couple though. I think maybe I'll go 2-0.
I mean, there's no disagreement here that Liverpool are going to win this.
Oh, it's a win.
It's got to be a win.
Yeah.
Norwich are going to want to prove that they can put up a fight.
And I think keeping it to a 2-goal deficit will be.
Yeah. I think Liverpool will struggle to find first. I think it'll take.
Second half.
Yeah, I'm expecting maybe on the hour mark, maybe around the hour mark, they get the first. And then I think the floodgates will open. They'll get a couple more after that.
I agree, actually, and that one's available on Sky Sports on Friday night, 8 PM kickoff. But Saturday morning on BT Sports, you've got West Ham versus Man City at 12:30 kickoff. What do you think about that one?
City win. I can't see it being any other way. City win.
City haven't gone.
You know what? I'm gonna go. I think West Ham might nick a goal.
Yeah.
It's away. It's at West Ham.
Yeah.
But City is so strong going forward. I'm expecting a 3-1, 4-1. I'm expecting a few goals in that one. But again, no doubt that we're both going to a City win. Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd go 2-1 City.
2-1 City.
2-1 City. I do think West Ham might get a goal.
Yeah.
But again, it could be a 2-0. Like Liverpool, it could be a 2-0. Then you've got your 3 o'clock kickoffs. You've got Bournemouth versus Sheffield, which is, I'm sure, the one everybody wants to watch. If everyone's upset that's not on TV.
People are flicking through our reviews just to get to our thoughts on this match.
Do we even care? We don't have any players, do we, from either team?
No.
We don't, do we?
No,
for all this talk about, you have to have Fraser, you have to pick between King and Wilson.
Yeah, no.
I think Sheffield might surprise people. I think it might be a 1-1, 0-0.
I'm going to go 2-0 Bournemouth.
No, it'll be a draw.
Bournemouth
aren't scoring 2.
I think Bournemouth, we said this before, Bournemouth came out the gates hot last year, and I think they'll do the same again this year. This isn't a tough game. I don't think Sheffield United are even close to being a Premier League calibre team.
What about our Rose fans there? Our local rivals, Burnley. At Turf Moor playing Southampton. You've got Danny Ings returning, you've got Charlie Austin returning.
Yeah. I'm going to go 1-1. I'm predicting a draw for this one. Burnley, they grind out the results.
I'm predicting
The Sean Dyche mentality.
it is the Sean Dyche mentality. I'm predicting
yeah.
Southampton with Hasenhüttl.
Austin Newell.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Burnley will have a nightmare season. I really do, and I think it'll start with maybe a 3 or 4-0 defeat.
Really?
I really do.
I don't see it being that high. But like I said, I think Burnley will just be able to get a draw against them.
Palace v Everton at Selhurst Park. It's an odd one, that. I don't know how
It is
to
an
call
odd
it. I'd just go 2-2.
I'm going to go 1-1.
A draw.
I'm expecting a draw.
Cancel it,
Both
draw.
expecting a draw. 1-1. Like I said, I think it'll be a decent game though. I think it will actually be a decent game to watch, that one.
What about Watford versus Brighton?
Watford versus
The big
Brighton.
Vicarage Road game. I think Brighton are going to win it.
After all that slating of Brighton that you did on our video.
Listen, a broken clock works twice a day. It won't be Glenn Murray scoring, I'll tell you that.
I'm going to go draw. I'm going to go draw again. 2-2.
I got 3-2 Brighton.
3-2 Brighton. We're both expecting quite
I
heavy
think-
goal fests there.
I think Duffy might score, and I think it might come back to haunt us both.
Yeah.
Because
Duffy's the one which everyone's sort of half looked at, but the thing is, you just cannot take that risk on Brighton getting clean sheets. You can't do it.
Do you remember when Shane Duffy put himself in his own team in a double game week last year and conceded 7?
Yes.
Do you remember? And he
Yeah.
actually tweeted, I think it was 7. He tweeted, "Well, I'm never putting myself in my team again."
Yeah, a lot of people triple captain him that week.
Yeah, they did.
That was an odd one because Brighton had already sort of
They were plummeting.
They were plummeting at that point. Yeah, I'm gonna go draw 2-2 at that point.
Tottenham versus Aston Villa, 5:30 kick-off on Saturday.
Again, it's at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Tottenham Hotspur, they're unbeaten there in the league, aren't they?
Are they?
I think so, in the league, I think. Unless somebody beat them towards the end of the league, end of the season.
Not sure.
We're not that expert.
No.
We don't. We'll have to check later for you.
I can't see anything other than a Tottenham win.
2-0, 3-0.
3-0.
I agree. I'd go with
I
that.
think. I think you're going to want to show the dominance from the off. They've not got a particularly tough game to do that in. I think Villa are going to be all right, but I'm not expecting them to pick points off the big teams.
Manchester City beat them at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium a week after they lost in the Champions League.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, they lost pretty
It
early
was-
on
it was-
into their Tottenham Hotspur
It
Stadium.
was the
run.
Phil Foden goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after you've been to church on Sunday morning,
Of course, that's what we will be doing.
it's the big one, Leicester v Wolves, because we have probably a combined 7 or 8 players
Yeah.
from Leicester Wolves. What are you going? Could be anything. Could be. Just forget our players.
Yeah.
This game is for me the standout.
Yes.
It's the most exciting.
The thing is, I said this last year. Wolves are such a fun team to watch.
Yeah.
Outside
And so are Leicester.
Yeah, especially the Brendan Rodgers Leicester. Outside of Liverpool and City, I would watch Wolves.
Yeah.
I would watch Wolves because they play lovely football. Love Nuno Esposito as a manager. Got a beard,
Yeah.
the old beard to pay tribute to him. But yeah, this is going to be.
You'll have the head soon.
We'll have the head soon.
It's thinning.
We'll have the head
It's
soon.
thinning.
It is thin.
You'll have to change the Bitmoji there. 'Cause he's gonna shave it off soon.
I already have that saved
Yeah.
on my computer.
Do you?
Yeah.
Can we have that pop up on the green screen
I'm not
right
going to
now?
make that part. People will see it eventually. They'll see it soon enough. But yeah, I think Wolves are going to win 2-1. I know it's at Leicester.
No,
but I think
Leicester
Wolves are going to win 2-1.
I think it's-
I think Leicester losing Harry Maguire as well might be a little bit of a big blow to the defence.
No. He was more of an attacking option.
Really?
Yeah.
Harry Maguire was. Do you want to take that back?
No. Why would that?
Ryan.
Super Sunday on Sky Sports.
Yeah.
Newcastle v Arsenal, 2:00.
Arsenal. Merely because it's Steve,
Steve
Bruce.
Bruce.
Do we need to say anything else?
Steve Bruce.
Steve Bruce.
3-0, 4-0.
No, I'm not going that high. I'm going to go 2-0. Actually, 2-1.
Do you think who will score for Newcastle? Joel Linton?
No, I think it'll be someone random.
Like,
It'll probably be like a John Joe Shelby or someone.
I think
Yeah.
we both agree it's an Arsenal. Then it's the last game of the game week. It's Man United versus Chelsea. I'm going for a 0-0 or maybe a cheeky United 1-0.
I'm going to go United 1-0.
But, you know, Frank Lampard
Yeah.
took Derby to Old Trafford in the Cup and won. On penalties, I think it was.
Yeah.
But he can do it.
He can do it, but I think I think the Premier League, especially the start of the Premier League opening game of the season, I think needs a little bit more than an FA Cup.
The League Cup.
There's the League Cup.
I think it's got 0-0, 1-1.
I'm not expecting many goals.
No.
I'm really not expecting many goals. Our Chelsea defence is still pretty strong. I'd say it's probably the strongest part of their team.
I disagree. I think the United attack's weak and the Chelsea defence is weak. So
I think the Chelsea defence is strong and the United attack is reasonably weak. I wouldn't say.
Well, you're usually wrong. So
only time will tell. That's our opinion on the games. But more importantly, what do you think? What do you think is going to happen this week? Who do you think the star players are going to be? Janae made a point earlier saying that when you pick your team, you should try and pick the players who you think are going to have the most points at the end of the season. Who do you think that's going to be? Who do you think are going to be the highest point scorers come the end of the season? Very interested to know. Let us know.
It's the fans' fantasy Premier League.
It is the fans' fantasy Premier League. This is your fantasy Premier League show. Yeah. So I think that's pretty much covers it all.
Yeah,
Let us know what you think.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe our video as well. And thank you very much for watching.
Share as well. Share. Like, subscribe, share.
Do it all. Do all the things.
Do anything.
All the social media
Print
things.
screen it.
Yeah.
Print it out and put us as a poster in your wall.
Get it up on your phone and just run through the streets of whatever city you live in.
Yeah.
If you're someone in Lincoln who just happens to watch this video, get it up on your phone.
Lincoln.
Run through the streets.
Lincoln. Why Lincoln?
Just the first place that came to my head.
Join the league.
Join the league.
We have a league. We have a league as well.
The code is going to be popping up somewhere around here. Join the league. Feel free to.
What's the league called? Do you know it off the top of your head?
Not off the top of my head.
We went for the most ridiculous. I mean, we could have gone professional and gone the Fans Fantasy Premier League.
Yeah. Sort of a rib on sort of advertising taking over.
Like the Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
And there was a Milk Cup. Do you remember that?
I do.
Bit before our time,
yeah.
for the historians. So we decided to. Well, I entrusted Cameron with this, and I said, Cam, can you come up with a league name that just takes the mick out of advertising, like the Carabao Cup type thing, takes the magic out of football and puts the commerce into it. And Cameron came up with this beauty.
We've gone for the O2, IBM, BP, AT&T Allianz Cup.
It's. I mean, I'm only disappointed it wasn't a trophy.
Yeah, I was hindered by the amount of
the
characters that I could have in that. It's like very short company names. But yeah, feel free to join that league. We want to have as many people in there as possible. We want to make it as competitive as possible.
Well, Cameron wants to make it as competitive as possible. I've made no secret. I want to trash your teams on camera. I want you to join our league so I can judge your teams and then call you out on video, and then maybe you can reply. Maybe we can even get you here in person if you on the show. And I just want to fight with you about how rubbish your team is, because I genuinely believe my team is going to win the league.
Only time you're going to tell there, but I think that's all the time we have here. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you next week.